Hello, Ron Wright, 7th degree black belt, Goshin Jutsu Karate. This is the second of a series of videos that I'm going to be doing on basics. All right, and this one here we're going to be dealing with hip rotation and shoulder alignment. Okay. Now, one of the basic premises of what makes the martial arts work, if it's done properly, is that technique and timing rule over raw physical strength. Okay, I'm not saying you shouldn't, try to develop your body to be as strong as what your DNA allows, but the idea is that someone slight of build or physically weaker than an opponent, if they have good timing and good technique, they should be able to be victorious and get out of their situation and talk about it over the dinner table, okay, or the police station. So today we're going to talk about hip rotation and shoulder alignment. These are just basic concepts. Everybody in the martial arts world knows that they talk about hip rotation, and I see a lot of good teachers that really do, from various systems, really do a good job of teaching. I've seen a lot of crap too. Okay, they just don't know what they don't understand it. So I'm going to explain, hopefully clear this up a little bit for you. Your hips in any sport, like football, hockey, you guys, when you're watching the defender, you're not watching, like say in hockey, for example, what the guy's doing with the puck, but you're watching his hip and then this area here generally, because that's where all the movement's going to come from. And he can fake over here with a stick, but drag over here by quickly shifting his hips, skating back. So anyhow, that's the idea. The hip rotation, presuming you have a good foundation with your stances, is you want to start your hip rotation begins your technique. So for example, if I'm going to do your basic punch, okay, boom. Okay, this is just something you learn on the very first day of most any hardstyle martial arts school. Okay, and I want to do this from shifting from a right rear stance, right back stance, into a left front stance. Okay, so I've got a guard position, and I'm going to just rotate into that front stance and throw my punch. Okay, and I want to explain shoulder alignment too on how we do it in the Goshin Jutsu system. Okay, what you want to do is, we're timing. I talk about technique and timing. So looking at it from the side, this technique, boom, okay, I want to actually start rotating my hips, because that's what drives, okay? You think of it as an internal combustion engine. This is your piston head, okay? That explosion has to take place in the chamber when the spark plug ignites the gasoline, or in a diesel engine when that piston's all the way up and that pressure's there before the gas explodes. But that gas vapor has to explode before the piston's going to drive back into its position, which in the case of an engine would be down, but you get the idea. So down here's where the action has to start. Assuming you have good breathing, and again, I'm going to do another separate video on breathing, but you have your breath in first, you're going to be nice and relaxed, and then think of that as the vapor, and that explosion starts. So before I start to rotate, it's just very slight, but I want to start my hip rotation first, okay? And then as I'm rotating, that punch comes out. Okay, the breath starts first, the hips slightly behind it, and so there's a chain, and it all happens like that. Okay? But I want to get this first, because this is where the power comes in. One of the reasons is that way when your punch hits the target, that your hip's going to be locked in and you're going to have a solid power line. And that power line is from the point of contact here down to your heel and your back foot, assuming you're in that front stance, okay? So if you're throwing your punch and your punch hits before your back leg, your hips turned over, you're going to have a slight shock absorber effect, and you're not going to have 100% power transfer from your center to the target that you're hitting, okay? So you got your breath in, and I'm going to exaggerate the loudness of the breath just so you can hear it, to see with the timing of what I'm doing. So it's breath in, and then, okay, and my hips are going to lock in just slightly ahead of the contact, and then immediately everything should relax. So that's the basic premise. I've talked about shoulder alignment. One of the basic concepts also is reciprocal movement. And in physics, it's action, reaction. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. And the way I teach this to my students is when doing punches, you think if there's a pulley on the opposite end of the wall, and you have two ends of a rope. The rope runs from your one hand, goes through the pulley, and comes back, okay? So as you have that, the quicker you pull the front hand back, it's going to pull on that rope to bring this rear hand up quicker, okay? So, the idea is, we call this reciprocal motion, hand coming back, and that's a whole different class and subject in itself, reciprocal motion, where it comes from. But, basic technique. So, dealing with shoulder alignment. Very few, you even watch the top guys in MMA, very few of them, very seldom do you see one punch knockout, okay? You got to hit them again and again and again, okay? Firearms training, double, triple taps, okay? So what you want to do, again, that action, reaction, everything takes time. So say you have good shoulder alignment, and I got my hands out here as I'm punching, boom, you'll notice that my shoulders are not leaving the center line. If you're in a habit of driving your punches forward like this, it's going to take you longer to get this punch from back here all the way out to here. It slows you down. So in the time that I can get, say, 3 punches out, okay, you might only have 2 because you have more distance to travel. And you're going to get tired quicker, okay? Not good. If you've ever been in a fight, whether in the ring or in the street, I've done both, conditioning pretty much rules the day, okay? I mean, really, if you get 2 fighters equally matched as far as technique and strength, whoever's in better condition should be able to outlast the other, and that's just the way it is, okay? So along with that hip rotation and good breathing, assuming good technique and the timing, keep your shoulders lined up. If you're taught to do this, do what your sensei says, but practice. Remember, hey, this is America. You do what you want, okay? I'm real big on thinking and doing for yourself. But practice it at home, see what the difference is, okay? If you can, set up a pulley and a length of cord, rope, whatever, and try that. So if you're pulling that rope and you're finding out that you're coming back too far, okay, and that's really kind of, you feel that strain once you pass that equilibrium point, adjust your technique. Mirrors are great. You can't see here, but I have a mirror on this wall, and you can tell if I'm throwing my shoulders out, okay? So that's a nice little training tool. We talked about the hip rotation, and again, one of the ways, I want to end this here real quickly, that I learned with kicks, the proper hip rotation. I was on vacation, I was in a swimming pool doing a pool workout, and at the time I was really working on my hook kicks and my side kicks, because a hook kick is nothing more than a variation of a side kick, okay? And what I found was that as I was in that pool, it was just about waist high, belly deep. And the way I was currently doing it, I kept falling over as I extended my, even keeping good posture and thinking, leaning in towards the kick rather than away from the kick. But I just found that as I was doing that, I felt myself falling over. And keeping in mind action, reaction, reciprocal motion. When I found that as I was doing my kick, if I concentrated on snapping that back, even if I was slightly off center as I extended the kick, when I snapped that back, again, my hips is what delivered it. My hip is what brought that back into center. And that natural resistance of the water acted sort of like a brake, okay? So as I'm bringing that foot back, it's pulling that water and helping me stay upright. This is, at the time, it was a revelation to me. I mean, I knew the theory, the concept. So I suggest, if you have an opportunity to get in a swimming pool or a creek, some kind of body of water, it only needs to be about belly deep, okay? Work on your hook kick and your side kick. And see what you can do with the front kick too. So that's a gentle resistance. But the trick is, as I'm looking at it from the side, as I do that front kick, especially if you're going from chamber, if you're just using leg strength, you're never going to hurt a fly, let alone stop someone. But you've got to have your hips, okay? Leg comes up in the chamber, hips are relaxed, hips start the movement, and they finish it. So it's up, boom, and back, okay? So that's a basic concept. Hip rotation, a little bit of breathing, shoulder alignment, and then again, try the water workout, okay? And you should see some pretty good results. Any questions, any comments, feel free to get a hold of me. Look forward to sharing something else here soon. Have a good day.